this topic. Please welcome up on stage the Director of Engineering at Freenow, Aniko. Give her a round of applause. Hey, nice to meet you. Grab a seat here. I'll jump in the middle. We'll have a good time. Small technical question. Oceane, je peux avoir le télé? Ouais, voilà. Okay. That's all. I lost my feedback monitor halfway through the last talk. So if you were wondering why I kept turning my head, it's because I was blind. So sorry.
No
Aniko,
worries.
thanks for joining us today.
Yeah, super nice to be here. I just flew in from sunny Germany, and oh my god, it's super hot here in Paris. It's crazy.
Yeah, the air conditioning is working so far, but I think outside people are melting.
Thanks a lot for that. Outside is crazy. I'm melting.
Yeah, what a great time to talk about sustainability and responsibility.
Absolutely.
Right in the middle of a heat wave in June.
It's a huge reminder that we should do something about it.
Yeah, well, tell me a little bit about Freenow. We talked a little bit before, but I feel like a really great place to start this conversation is just talk a little bit about the trajectory of the company and where you guys are coming from and where you're going right now.
Yeah, so absolutely great connection to the previous topic as well, because it's not just from the software perspective, but also the responsibility of the company, which we basically represent. So Freenow is a mobility app, basically a super app, where we provide options for customers to just say, hey, this is where I want to go. I want to go to middle of Paris. And basically we give them all kinds of different options, sustainable options to get there. Right now, the biggest problem in our world is, yes, climate change, more cars, electrification, and we just want to provide all of the different options for people and, of course, push them to ditch their cars. So right now we are in 11 countries, 170 cities, more than 200,000 vehicles. So we are really doing this big push to make the environmental footprint of people as small as possible. And also with that, make our own company and engineering footprint as small as possible.
Yeah, and talk a little bit about that. So, obviously, you guys are right in the middle of this micro-mobility, alternative mobility, getting away from cars, or at the very least, getting away from one person per car paradigms. So, how does that reflect inside in the engineering organization? How do you guys think about the way you operate as a team and how it reflects what you're trying to build for?
Obviously, it's a great challenge because the whole mobility industry didn't really exist like 10 years ago, right? So even 5 years ago, you didn't think like you get from A to B in Paris on an e-scooter. So the whole mobility industry is changing every single day, and we have a huge responsibility of keeping up with that. So that's definitely one of the biggest challenges we have. We started as like a small startup only providing taxis, and now we are like a multi-mobility global company trying to keep up with all of these different options and the whole mobility industry. So this is one of the biggest challenges for us, alongside with the challenges every one of us have, right? You have Corona, you have the super crazy tech industry where everyone is trying to hire your talent and you have to do everything to keep them. And then, of course, on top of that, the hackers are going crazy because they have all the time in the world to try to get into your systems. So actually, the whole world is changing a lot around us. And also our company is kind of like growing up from a startup to a scale-up. So basically, it's a change every single day. I think we don't have anything else than challenge every day to react on all of this. And of course, it also means that we have a big goal to be carbon neutral, to be the biggest mobility provider, to really push people into responsible mobility, to ditch their cars. But then, of course, next to this huge responsibility, we also have the goal to try to build something which the customers like.
And so, tell me a little bit about the challenges that you guys face around that scale, right? Mm-hmm. So, we see a lot of startups that have scaled up, and most of them would say it's easy. You pay them all the money, you get the giant office, you put everyone in the big office, you give them all the expensive computers. How are you guys trying to take a different approach to going through this scale-up stage?
Mm-hmm. So for us, I think the biggest difference is the whole growth mindset topic. So you see that in this industry, we have to take an approach where we can change every day. We have a big vision of where we want to go, but how we get there can change a lot. So we are super aligned on, yes, mobility, super app, sustainability, and so. But then how we get there is something which we work on every single day. So first of all, we try to hire engineers who are in a growth mindset. So they want to grow, they want to learn, they want to do different things, ideate every day. But we also try to do the same mindset in how we develop products. So we don't want to be a feature factory where you say, I want to develop these 5 things over 2 years, and I have like a roadmap which I strictly follow. For us, it's more like we want to go in a growth mindset, also how we build products. So we have a goal, we have a metrics we want to achieve, and then we try to small scale try out different things, experiments, see how people react on it. And if we see that it's not really working, change direction, try to, try out something else, POC something else. So the whole key is basically growth mindset in the teams and also in the product. So you are super flexible, you can super quickly react on everything around you and give the responsibility to the teams to actually do the right thing.
And do you feel like having a remote structure for your engineering team aids or inhibits that? As you try to kind of, hire people from anywhere and maintain a smaller carbon footprint by reducing commute. Do you feel like that you're able to adapt to that sort of new paradigm, this sort of post-pandemic paradigm? Are you able to keep everyone focused on the mission, focused on the bigger picture?
Absolutely. Actually, remote work helps us a ton because it creates just natural diversity, because we are now able to hire from everywhere remotely, or whoever prefers going into our offices. So this way we have in our engineering team 300 people from like 50 nationalities, and it creates naturally such a great power, diversity, a lot of different ideas and minds. And that's really a great support for this whole growth mindset, because everyone can express and take responsibility for what we build.
And what would you recommend to companies that are maybe newer to remote work? Maybe they started during the pandemic or they started before and they were small enough that they stayed in one city. They never really made the leap to hire outside of the city where they are. How do you talk to other engineering leaders about switching to a hybrid or a remote work model? What kind of advice do you give?
Honestly, I think a lot of us are pushed into this situation, so they obviously have to react on the market, they have to react on what's happening around us. But what I would give as an advice to everyone, to just embrace it, try to live it, try to get the right talent, doesn't matter where they are, and just work with them, and you will see the benefits on the go. It's more of a thing where it's new, it's challenging, but you just have to lean into it, and you will see that it is really the right way to go. This is really going to give you the benefits of the diverse mindset, the different ideas, and having all kinds of cultural backgrounds. So my advice always, go for the change, lean into it, just do it.
I like it. Lean into it, just do it. Well, I'm sure we could talk about this for hours, but thank you very much, Aniko, for coming by. Please give Aniko a huge round of applause. Thank you.